Hey, everybody. Welcome to day 337 of Reseller Reflections, a day in the life of a full-time reseller supporting her family. It is Sunday, May 11th, 2025. It is Mother's Day today. And like I said last night, we met our sales goal for last week. So that was a real win. Super excited about that, happy about that. We actually hit there's a couple metrics I track, and we actually hit all of them for the first time in a while last week. So that means like input, output, all the things. We actually hit each one of those metrics for last week. So, woo! All right, back on track from vacation. Hopefully we stay on track. And today we have not hit the sales goal yet. I am, again, recording a little bit early today. We have plans tonight. So, yeah. Speaking of plans, let's talk about not according to plan. I've touched on this subject quite a few times. Plans, planning, expectations. This kind of goes along with the expectations video I had the other day. Yeah, I think when we set too rigid of plans, that it can really derail us. It can cause us to have, great expectations that aren't met. And like I said, having kids has definitely taught me the lesson that planning is not always a good thing. Coming from a very type A, plan everything out, everything is according to plan kind of thing. Then you have kids and that kind of just goes right out the window. Which, for me, it was really hard, but it was a really such an incredible blessing. And it definitely helped me also in my business, like not only in my personal life and family life, but in my business, it has really helped me. Consignment reselling can be a very volatile type business, and you have to be able to roll with it. Whether it's changes in technology or platforms, websites, the inventory, the type of inventory you have coming in, what the market is like, how quickly it changes. You have to be really, really flexible. So planning too far in advance and having everything mapped out and planned isn't necessarily a good thing. Having a mission and a vision, I believe, is critical to know where you're headed, but how you're going to get there. Like, you have to do so many course corrections along the way that it's mind-boggling. And if you're thinking about getting into this business, if you're thinking about, maybe starting a business, this is something I would seriously consider, whether your personality is well suited to that, whether you can adapt, willingly adapt to change, or whether you're somebody that likes, structure and things regimented and, like that. Because, maybe it wouldn't be a good fit for somebody that really likes structure. It can be very frustrating, all of the changes, if you allow it to be. I mean, even me, I don't really think I allow it to be, but sometimes it's super frustrating. And sometimes just not knowing what the next step is can be, oof, goodness gracious, just a little too much. So yesterday, personally, I had, we had a day planned. Absolutely zero went according to plan. And it ended up being great because I reminded myself it doesn't really matter, right? It's about the happiness in the moment, the joy in the moment, and being where my feet are. So, everything that I had anticipated for yesterday. Yesterday we were going to do Mother's Day and do some things with the kids and be together, and it just didn't work out that way. But it was a brilliant day. It was absolutely an incredible day that just everything was wonderful. But if I had all right, well, this is what we planned, and I was stuck on that, I had that in my head, I would have missed the enjoyment of the moment and all of the fun things that happened yesterday. And my daughter has arrived in North Carolina now. She got up early this morning, and I saw her off. So proud of her, making the trip by herself. I mean, worried, of course, like driving an older car, 9-10 hours by herself. Yeah, that's a little nerve-wracking as a mom, but yeah, she made it. Really happy, really proud of her, starting her new journey. It's really fun to be able to watch that. I'm looking on my phone. I should have had this up for a quote that my friend had sent me yesterday, and here it is. Okay. I thought this spoke on so many different levels. Not knowing is holy. It's the space before form, the void before vision. Trust the silence. Clarity is born there. All right. Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with not necessarily having, knowing what the plan is, knowing how things, like, you have to give yourself that time and that space to not know, to kind of figure things out. So if you're in that space, you know what? Take this quote: not knowing is holy. It's the space before form, the void before vision. Trust the silence. Clarity is born there. So if you're figuring things out, maybe it's whether this business is not for you, maybe it's a personal decision, maybe it's something going on in your life, but just, take a pause. You don't have to have it all planned out. You don't have to know exactly where you're going. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Take some time to develop that mission for your business or that vision for your life. Appreciate the pause, and that the clarity that can come from taking that break and taking that pause. And in the meantime, if you are rigid and do have all these plans and they don't go your way, think about how you respond to it. Because I'm telling you, just being able to roll with it is such a blessing. Coming from somebody that absolutely could not do that in the past, it is absolutely a blessing. Don't miss out on the wonderful things that happen in all those spaces. All right, that is what I have for day 337. I will see you on day 338. Night, night.